I'm not in my room. You're probably wondering where I am right now, and that's honestly none of your business. No. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm in Okinawa, Japan on vacation, and the purpose of this video is similar to my last video where I was in Japan, and that is to look for games, look for cool tech that I can hunt and find and purchase. You know, the general guideline of this channel is I buy things I don't need, and I did a lot of that while I was here. I wasn't really a game collector until I came to Japan, and I started picking, I still don't think I'm a game collector, but I do buy things that I like. I don't try to do complete sets, but there are certain genres or certain titles that kind of are nostalgic for me, so I go out for those. And I did that. So before I came out here, I did some research on Okinawa, and it is a pretty small island, but it has its fair share of hidden gems. And the stores on this island aren't too different from the ones on the mainland. Mainland, I will say, it's a little bit more popular, a lot more foot traffic, so it might be a little more expensive. The stuff I found here is pretty fair pricing. Some places more expensive than others, but all in all, I think I spent probably under 200 USD for everything that I bought. Around that maybe. So based off my hotel, I picked about 4 or 5 locations through Google where I saw some images, saw some reviews, and people were like, hey, there's some cool stuff here. This is what I got. I was like, okay, well, at least I have a little guideline plan. And my thought, I always had the thought to make a video on it, but my thought was to hit like 1 or 2 places each weekend. But I kind of just ended up going to everything on one weekend, and it was dope. It was really dope. The transportation on this island isn't similar to the mainland where it's usually trains and stuff. A lot of it's just taxi, and if you use the Uber app, you're essentially calling a taxi. So that's what I did, and pretty cheap. But also a lot of things are walkable. And now I'm rambling. So what I wanna do is go through each of the places I visited and show you what I got, and I will let you judge me, but I'm not gonna listen to what you say. Okay, so the first store that I went to was called Jiwa Awase, and I'm not exactly sure what the Awase means, but a lot of these places were secondhand, so I'm assuming it means it's a secondhand location, or I don't know. If you guys know, correct me, and I'll appreciate that. But before going into this trip, I had an idea of what I wanted. Based off last trip, I did get a complete copy of Metal Gear Solid 1 for PlayStation 1 and Twin Snakes for GameCube, and 3 copies of Metal Gear Solid 2. For some reason, I'm weird. I was like, okay, at this point, I think it's good enough to just build out a whole Japanese collection of it. And I was really going for mainline games, not really Portable Ops or Portable Ops Plus. Peace Walker is mainline, even though it's on PSP, but I was going for mainline. That was the only blip in my head. I was like, okay, if I see it, I'm gonna buy it just so I have a full, complete collection. Anything else I see, I may purchase, but I have no radar to go find it on purpose. So the first store I went to, it was more of a tech store. A lot of these stores had a collection of things. There's DVDs, iPads, tablets, smartwatches. A lot of these places kind of sell secondhand stuff. The pricing is all right. I think a lot of the pricing is similar to what you're gonna find online in the States, maybe a little bit more expensive just because you're on an island, right? So if they have to ship stuff here, it's going to be more expensive. They have to sell it for higher. So a lot of the stuff I was looking at, like maybe I was thinking about picking up another phone just for filming purposes, but I was like, I checked Amazon, and it was actually cheaper on Amazon to get a used one. So I was like, let me pump the brakes, stop spending money, do that too much. Did it anyway. But this place is really cool. It had a lot of amiibos there. They were fairly priced. I almost bought one, and then I was like, I don't want to cram too much of the things I'm not looking for in my suitcase yet. Let me shop around for what I want, and then I'll come back and get it. And you'll see later how I didn't stay true to that. That's on me. But this store is really cool. It had a bunch of other stuff. I wasn't really interested in, like DVDs, CDs, all that, snacks. But yeah, I found a little area of retro game stuff. And when I say retro, I'm talking about PS3 and down. A lot of these places do have PS4, PS5, Xbox, surprisingly a good amount of Xbox. I know Xbox isn't that popular in Japan. And of course, Nintendo Switch, out of the butt. Like a lot of Switch stuff. The first store I went to didn't have that much, as you'll see from the video, but I did end up picking up 2 things off the list that I wanted, and that is Metal Gear Solid 4, so Japanese here, and this was only 430 yen, and right now the conversion puts this at like $2, which is dope, right? And it looks complete in box, has the manual, Blu-ray, everything. And I also picked up Metal Gear Rising. Now, this is not mainline at all, but I love this game. I own like 3 copies of it. I have the actual PS3 version, the American one, but I was like, it's only 430, it's only $2. Let me add it, it'll be cool to have. So I got it. And the last thing I got, didn't need it. It is, well, they cover the name. It is a Dragon Ball game for the 3DS. And I don't know, they don't put the game inside. They actually had it separately, so they put it right here, you'll see. But this is, oh my god, I know the name of this game. It's like Dragon Ball FighterZ before it was Dragon Ball FighterZ. But it's for the 3DS. I actually have this game. I've played it on my 3DS. It's really dope. So to get a physical copy for about $6-ish was a really good steal in my book. So I picked it up. Again, one of those things I didn't want to get, or I didn't expect to get, but I did get because I was already there. The next place I went to is actually down the street from Gio Iwase, and it was 2nd Street Iwase. Now this place was more of a thrift store. If you're from America, you're used to how those are laid out. They have clothing, tools, whatever. Like this felt more like a thrift store, and I went in not too confident on technology. There was some CD players and actual appliances, but I did a few laps and I couldn't find too many things that interested me. Like there were headphones and stuff, but I'm looking for tech. More importantly, tech that kind of calls to me. I'm not gonna go buy, I was gonna say I'm not gonna go buy a laptop. I almost did, but I'm not gonna go buy a laptop that doesn't look like a good deal and also doesn't look like something I wouldn't use. So I kind of stayed away from that. And the only thing I did find there was more figures. I have a pretty good collection. I'm gonna do more videos at home where it's me and you can see my office, and I actually have my whole shelf lined up with figures. So I got this Beast Gohan because it was 900 yen, which comes in about $5, $6, $7, something like that. But really good price. There's also a orange Piccolo that I've seen. I might pick that up just to complete the set. Didn't expect to get it, but I got it. So the next location that I went to, the third one, was actually a place I've been wanting to go to for a very long time. And when I was in mainland, I was kind of near the tourist areas and I didn't go out of my way to go find this place just because I was with a group and I didn't want to be that guy. But the place I'm talking about is Hard Off. And more specifically, this was a hard off, and it was hard off and another version, deck off. I don't know, something off, but it was more split into a kind of thrift story vibe, a reselling secondhand store, but it had its own home area where it was, again, clothing, bags, shoes, but then it split in the middle and it was just technology. And I think the technology portion is usually what Hard Off does, and I was pumped. I've seen videos of people going game hunting and Hard Off is like a gold mine. So I was like, you know what? There's one here, we're going. And oh boy, we went. I have this issue that many non-Japanese people do where I can't speak Japanese or read it. So I go through each game, pull it, look at it, everything, right? I was there for at least an hour and a half and the store wasn't that big. There was a bunch of case stuff, Switches, PS4s, PS3s, whatever. There was a bunch of figures, which is like its own separate I can make a whole different video on that if I went figure hunting. Let me know if you guys want to see that stuff because I am pretty into anime, RP Toriyama, and I would actually enjoy that. Somebody I know wouldn't, but I would enjoy it. I went around, walked, pillaged through everything, and again, in my mind, I was like, need a complete Metal Gear Solid set, and also, I wouldn't mind getting a retro console while I'm here because I usually hunt on Facebook Market. I want to see if it's a better deal. So, Hard Off has some shelves. Actually, they have a good lineup of items with a tag on it. And if you don't know better, you could buy something, say it's pretty cheap, come home, it doesn't work. But if you translate it, it will tell you the condition of the item. One might say LCD burned out, one might say missing battery. Some stuff might be easy to fix, some stuff might be more difficult, depending on who you are and what you're willing to do. So what I did is, one, scanned everything I was interested in, but just took my time. Took my time to see what I wanted. Yeah, I was looking for Metal Gear Solid. I bought one Metal Gear Solid item, technically 2 out of like 6 items. So that's on me. But let's go through what I got. Like I mentioned before in my previous video, I have been playing with the PS Vita grip from Hori. I have been playing a lot of Persona 4 Golden. So I saw a copy here and I had to pick it up. This was, I think Hard Off takes off the pricing once you buy a product. So I unfortunately don't have the pricing for this, but everything from the store, everything that I will show you was about 100 USD for everything. This game was not that much. It is complete. Actually, I don't know if it's complete. I don't know what usually comes with this, but you just have the little control manual. I never owned this game in the US. I don't know what it is. But of course, I have a hacked Vita, but now I technically own it. So it's a cool collection piece. I really do like it. Yeah, Persona 4 Golden is bomb. Getting this is really cool. Next up, I was still looking through PS Vita stuff and I found Gravity Rush. And this game, well, here it's called Gravity Days, but Gravity Rush in the US. And this game is also very cool. It uses the PS Vita's gyro really well. And it's just a nice, different type of action game. And the story's good. I think I'm about halfway through it and I'm loving it. It's awesome. And this one is more complete in box than Persona 4. It has the manual, and then also has some more stuff inside. Looks like some ads. Looks like a lot of useless stuff. But the game is cool. I would consider buying another Vita that's not hacked to see if these run on there properly, but I might just buy another Vita anyway. Okay, so next up after the Vita, I moved to PlayStation, and this one I got more as a gift, but with me kind of getting looped into Persona 4, I was like, okay, well, Reload just came out, Persona 3 Reload, so I found it. It came out, Persona 3 Portable on the PSP, and I was like, hey, that's pretty dope. It's also pretty cheap. I have a friend who's pretty into this game, so I think I'm just gonna gift this instead because I think they'd appreciate it. Complete in box. Haven't played Reload yet, but that's on my list. I gotta finish 4 first because if I hop between the two different ones, I'm gonna get confused. And I already have 5 on Steam and I haven't played that yet. And if I do, it's just these games take way too long, but it's okay. I heard they're good. They are good. We'll see. I did get to an area of the store where you can just kind of go ham. They have little crates of wires, connectors, just random stuff. They have a whole one dedicated to gaming where it's controllers based off the system. There's games, there's a lot of things. There's things that I really considered buying, but I was like, hey, I don't know if this is actually gonna run, and I don't know how much time I'm gonna have when I get back to actually fix stuff. So let me stay away from the systems. But I did go through and try to find Metal Gear Solid stuff, like I said, for my collection, and I did, kinda. So they do this weird thing at Hard Off where they kind of bundle these games together with plastic wrap, and like it's cheap enough where you're like, okay, fine, this is 550 yen for 5 games, and you're like, okay, I don't want all those other games, and the games that I want, Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops Plus is in here twice, just wanted one, but I guess I'll do it, because without it the game would have been 330 yen, so might as well get the whole bundle and spend like 30 cents more. Actually, I don't know how much. But in this bundle, we have some really weird games. We have something called Talkman, which I'm assuming is like a language learning thing. Actually, let's just open this while we're here. Talkman, it looks like this bird teaches you stuff, and you get to choose what language you want to learn. That actually seems pretty dope. We have this one. Oh, this is like a GPS game. Well, it's not a game. It's a UMD, but it looks like it's actually used for GPS. Like, there's an accessory that you can put your PlayStation P, your PSP in the car and use it as a GPS system, and this looks like that. So that's actually pretty cool. Didn't know that. And then what I actually wanted was Portal Ops Plus. Not one of the games I was going for, but I saw it there, and I was like, you know what, let's get it. At this point, I have I don't know, I convinced myself to do a lot of things I don't want to do. Don't take that out of context. Complete, in box, looks good. And then, of course, you always need a second copy because for some reason, this one, not complete in box, but has the game, which is what you want. And then the last game, or so I thought, was Monster Hunter Portable. I don't know exactly which one this is for the US audience. I'm assuming maybe 3, but complete in box. Monster Hunter is huge in Japan. Now, the other thing that I bought while I was there, like I said, I looked through a few consoles and I was like, you know what? For hacking purposes and also just to have one and restore it and play it, let me get a PSP. And I did. I got a red PSP. This is the 3000 model and it's in pretty good quality. It does need a battery because it does not have that. I unfortunately haven't tested it yet, but you can get a battery pretty cheap online. So I'm gonna wait to do that. But even without a battery, if there's any issues with this, I think I'll be able to fix it pretty well, even if it requires some soldering. The console is pretty used up. It has a sort of a screen protector, but I'm not gonna peel it off yet. But I can definitely take this apart, clean it, get some of this crumb out of it. But yeah, I've never had a red PSP. I always had the just original black one, and this looks dope. Surprisingly, I only had the 1000 model and the PSP Go. This one, it doesn't have like a spring to open the door. You just open it. And then when I opened it, I was like, what? There's a game in here. And it's Monster Hunter Portable 2G. Woo! No, I don't know if I'm gonna play it. I probably won't. They even labeled the game Hard Off. Also, I didn't expect this, but it came with a 2 GB memory card. Because back in the day, 2 GB were, I don't know if they're expensive, but it was a lot of space. I'll clean this bad boy up and then make a video about it at home and let you guys know how it is. And second to last, I got another figure. This is the last one so far that I got. I don't know if I'm gonna get more, but it's Deku for My Hero. If you guys read this or watch this, it's hype. and this figure where he's kind of going vigilante mode is pretty dope. I haven't opened it yet, but this was 1650 yen, so about, I want to say $10 or $12. Yeah, I really like the details in this one, so nice pickup for me. And the last thing that I got, I walked by it a few times. I was like, what is that? And I was like, you know what? Let me Google it. I Googled actually a lot of this stuff to see if it's good pricing too, because I'm not going to buy something that's dumb expensive, because it's a waste of money, I said jokingly. I got this. The Rakuten Mini. It's a C330 model, and I think Rakuten is a Japanese company, a cell phone company. This was out of the box when I bought it. But I looked it up and I was like, there aren't that many videos on it. There aren't that many reviews on it. The ones that I found were all Japanese. So I was like, one, this would be a cool thing to kind of show the US audience what it is, because I don't think a lot of people know. I didn't know. But also, I want it, and I want it because it's cheap. It was 50,000 yen for a complete inbox cell phone. And this cell phone, I think only came out 2 years ago. I think it was 2020 or 2022. No, sorry, 2020 or 2021. So I guess more than 2 years ago. It came out a few years ago, but it was a full cell phone for 50,000 yen, which is like $35. And I was like, even if it doesn't do stuff, like, that's cool. It has to do some stuff. But yeah, this is a full, tiny little boy. Like, look at this little man. I'm gonna make a whole video about this unboxing and show you guys more in depth later. I'm excited about that video because she runs RetroArch and she runs it well. Cute little hand smartphone, USB-C, so it's not that outdated. Front camera, back camera. I'm not gonna go too in depth, but it came with a USB-C to auxiliary headphone jack adapter. Came with a USB-C charger and a brick, and it's just cool that you got this overall compact thing in its original box. And I was really excited to get this. This is probably my most exciting purchase so far while I was here. Okay, so the next place was a short cab ride away, and it was the brother, sister, family member of Hard Off called Book Off. And this is more so like a secondhand book, manga, DVD place compared to just tech. But they do have some figures and games, and I found actually a good amount of stuff. It wasn't the biggest selection, but it was a nice little wall full of things that I was interested in. Maybe 3 aisles of cool stuff to look at, and the rest were books, which I can't read anyway, just in general. And actually, a lot of these stores are very nice. Like, when I went to buy these games, they're like, hey, like, this is not English. And I was like, oh, it's okay. I'm not gonna play them. But yeah, when I went to the store, I got pretty pumped because I found boxed GameCube games, and I have a lot of nostalgia for the GameCube. The games that I did buy though, I think I'm gonna gift them to my friends because these are some of their favorite games and they were pretty cheap, and that is Resident Evil 4 and 1. Now in Japan, they're called Biohazard, but these are boxed, it's in a box, it's not the original box, but boxed GameCube games with the manual, has both discs for Resident Evil 4, same thing with Biohazard. Whoop! That boy is loose. Same thing with Biohazard 1. Man, it was cool. It was a cool little pickup. They were cheap, maybe $5 each. So definitely didn't break the bank. The other thing I got was Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages for the Game Boy Color. I actually have Oracle of Seasons, the US version, at home. So it was cool to get the other one, the Japanese version. These games don't require a lot of understanding. It's a Zelda game, so you kind of just run around and do stuff. I guess you have to understand what they're saying, but if you know the games, you kind of know where to go. You can also follow a guide. This is actually the most expensive thing that I bought there at Book Off. It was 1,500 yen, which came out to be $12-ish. I have an analog pocket, so I'm gonna play this and it'll be fun. The next 2 items were back on track to my goal for Metal Gear Solid, and I ended up picking up Ground Zeroes and Peace Walker. Now, Peace Walker here, compared to the US, their HD collection split the games separately. You had 2 and 3 as part of one collection, and then Peace Walker its own, whereas in the US, they have all 3 of them bundled into one, which I prefer, but it was cool to get this separately because I already have the other ones. Now, I have seen MGS5 Phantom Pain. I just don't think I need that as well. I think this suffices. I think 5 Ground Zeroes is good enough. I just own so many copies of Phantom Pain. I'm probably gonna get it. I probably will. Both of these have the manual, have the game. This one actually has a reversible cover, and it's pretty dope. I might use that one instead. This is the first time I'm actually opening a lot of these. I thought I would do it on camera to get more of a authentic reaction to things. except for me finding out the PSP has hidden stuff. And then this is Peace Walker. This also has a reversible cover. I'm not gonna take it out. It has Miller on the other side instead of Snake. I like the reversible covers here. After book off, I was gonna go to my last location, but I wasn't sure if I needed to. I was like, I hit a lot of places today. Maybe let's go home. But I was like, you know what? It's not even late yet, so let's go out there and see what's there. And I went there, and this place was called Manga Souko Awase. Probably butchered it. This place blew me back, lifted my ankles. When you look at it from the outside, you don't know what to expect. And then you get inside and you're like, what is this? And then you walk around more, you're like, I think I know what this is. And you walk around more, like, wow, this is dope. This place had everything. Like, out of all the stores I went to, it had a lot of new stuff. Imagine if, I can't even give it was just, it had used items, it had new items, it had different sections like scuba gear, golfing gear, different sport gear, clothing down the middle with different like areas that you would need specific clothing for, shoes, hats. The outside, the portion that you walk into was also like a little arcade area, but it had like trading cards. Honestly, anybody can go there and find something to look at, and I think that is the perfect kind of store because not everybody has the same taste. So if you're with a friend group and you go somewhere, you're like, okay, I'll do my thing, you do yours. I didn't even know how big the gaming section was because I went in and I kind of just looped around the opposite direction and I came back, I was like, what the, wow. Like there's so many games here. They're all labeled really well. I've gone 2 times already and I'm probably gonna go another time and I don't need to, but I will. They had a lot of figures, which I didn't buy because I have 2 and it's more of a space thing at this point, not that I don't want it. But the game section was huge. I was like, okay, let's not go crazy. Let's buy what I put out to buy and not what I just see and think is cool. I did, however, look for more consoles. There was a section of junk consoles. There's a Vita there, 1000 model, which I really wanted, but then I looked closer and the screen was very, very burned out. And I was like, it's an OLED screen. I don't feel like messing with that. I don't think it'd be too difficult, but it's a touch screen and an OLED screen, let me not. There's some PSPs and stuff. And then they actually have like stuff that's good quality, like tested and well behind a glass case. A lot of that stuff I did notice was a little pricier than the other stores I've been to and online, but I guess island mindset, you're gonna sell it if there's a demand, and if people can't get things, they're gonna do it through here. It's cool that they had the variety, and I spent a lot of time here. Not a lot of money though, surprisingly. So far for the Metal Gear Solid thing, I have everything that I want. I have 1, 2, don't have 3, got 4, 5, I'm not counting Phantom Pain, because I'm gonna include 5 as 1, and Peace Walker. So all I need is 3. And out of all these stores that I went to, I was actively looking for Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater and I couldn't find it. Let alone, I found it here. And I found it for only 880 yen. Unlike Metal Gear Solid 2, I did not buy 3 copies of this. That's also because Metal Gear Solid 2 is my favorite game. And this one is my 3rd favorite. I think I like 4 better. It's really good quality. Of course it's used, but it's still sealed. I'm just happy that I can go home and display these and have it look nice. And now that I say it, if I'm displaying it, I'm probably gonna get Phantom Pain. The other thing that I got was due to me getting Portable Ops Plus at Hard Off. I was like, well, if we get Portable Ops Plus, we need Portable Ops. So I got Portable Ops as well. And this one had plastic on it and they took it off, which had the price, but it wasn't expensive. It was probably like $5. Complete in box, has the manual, has the game. I actually played these games a lot when I was younger. I love the PSP. I played the heck out of these games. I would take it on the bus and play it on there a lot, the school bus, not the adult bus. I actually tried trading this game in to GameStop back when I was younger because I would always trade up to get new stuff. And the guy took it out to inspect the case and he broke the UMD shell in the process. And he was like, well, it's broken now, so we can't give you that much. And I was a young little boy looking at him like, you just broke it, but also I need the money, so okay, give me 75 cents for the game. If I could go back and tell my younger self to hold on to a lot of stuff, I would, but I didn't because you can't do that. Overall, I had a very good hunt, we'll call it. I found everything I wanted and some extra stuff, and I'm really happy about that. Everything is good quality. Nothing seems broken. I'll test the PSP when I get home, when I get a battery, or if I can find one here, I might find one. Yeah, I'm just really happy with everything I was able to find, and I wasn't expecting to find this much. And there might be more stores that I haven't been to that I might stop by. Wait, but there's one more thing. While I was at the manga place, that Manga Souko Awase, I kind of buckled. Like that Rakuten mini phone was so cool. I was like, wow, this is so cheap. I got it for 50,000 yen. I'm gonna just have fun with this thing. I love this little device that plays emulators and everything, and I can just use it for fun stuff. Surprisingly good quality. And then I saw one at the manga place. And I was like, whoa, another one. So yeah, I got 2 of them. This one was 44,000. It is a little more dinged up on the edges. No scratches on the screen. The other one has a screen protector on it. So that one looks like actual pretty new. This one's a little dinged up, but nowhere that actually matters. Like the camera glass, everything is fine. But it was 44. The hard off was a way better deal because it came complete in box and better quality. So this place was a little expensive, like I said, and I don't need it, but it's $27. And $27 for a pretty current, modern, but also quirky and cool phone is a pretty good deal in my book. But yeah, guys, that is what I got on my trip to Okinawa. I'm hoping I don't need a part 2 of this video. I really don't want to get more stuff, but sometimes I'm forced to. I don't want to get more stuff. It's a space issue, not a me spending money issue, because the stuff here is reasonably priced for the most part. But that's what I got. Let me know if there's an item here that you guys like. I will be doing more in-depth videos on things such as the PSP and the Rakuten Mini. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I love going to these stores and looking at old tech and looking at games and retro stuff, and just I like the process of looking. Even if I don't buy anything, I like going there and looking. It's like a museum for me in a way. Some people understand that, some people think it's like boring, but you know, to each his own. Hopefully you guys find it interesting if you're watching this video. Hopefully I haven't rambled for too long. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what games you're looking for. If I got a game that you're like, damn, I have a lot of nostalgia for that, I love that game. Or if there's a game that you hate. No. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I'm trying to step up my videos and do more of a in-person, not just Steam Deck stuff, but more things I'm kind of interested in. So if there's a liking for that, I'll continue to push it. Again, I can kind of push the edge of the anime stuff over and over more, because it really is, anime and games are like pretty even for me, but I kind of do games because it's a little more relatable to my understanding for an audience. But let me know if I'm wrong. If you guys want to see my figure collection, wow, I sound like a dork, huh? If you guys want to see other stuff, let me know. I'll try to make it happen. I will see you guys in the next video, okay? Thanks and bye.